Today I'm going to show you how I built this F-lamp with only a piece of pallet wood and a couple of small other items. Well, material wise for this F-lamp, it was extremely simple. All I did was basically take one piece of plywood. This is a plywood leftover. This is a hardwood plywood. I'm not exactly sure what type of wood, but it is a hardwood. All I did then was basically rip it down the middle in the length and then cut it to the various sizes needed. Now, what I ended up with was one longer piece, like so. This is about just a bit over half a meter. This is about what, almost 2 feet. And thereafter, cut a bunch of smaller pieces. And the idea of this is to put it together as follows. Now, I cut 2 pieces. Now, the jaws, the total length of the jaws of the F-clamp is going to be about 15 centimeters. And that is about almost just under 6 inches. There's a rough estimate that we've got there. So put the one under there, like so. Put a medium sized one on top, one that's a bit shorter, only less the width of the backbone there. Put one on top. Now that will all be glued together, obviously. Now the bottom part, so it's a slight bit different. It's going to come past the main shaft of the F-clamp for obvious reasons. If not, we'll see it in a moment. I've got a smaller piece which will be glued on the back there. Let's just move this all the way over here. Got this intermediate piece as well, which is the length, and one on top again. And you can see the whole thing coming together at this stage. Now, obviously, this will not be attached to the shaft where this will be, because the idea is this should be able to move up and down in order for the F-clamp to be a clamp. Now, the other 2 pieces I cut was 2 more pieces. This is about 5 inches, more or less. I'm going to glue them together, round over the edges, and this is going to be the handle of the F-clamp, which is going to be over here. Now, for the shaft, I only used a piece of threaded rod like so, which is going to be through the bottom jaw like that, and on the end I'm going to countersink a hole that is just bigger than the nuts over here. And the reason for that is I'm going to put once there's a countersink hole in there, I'm going to put the washer on top, glue that in place, maybe even drill 2 little holes in it and put 2 self-tapping screws in there to hold that in place. Now on the inside, I'm going to basically put the washer over there, and then on the end of this bolt, I'm going to be putting a nylock nut or a lock nut, like so. This will obviously be inside there, and this will be held in place. So the shaft will be able to move, and this will be able to move freely. And then on the main shaft or on the bottom jaw, I'm going to basically drill a hole on the other side. I'm going to put a T-nut basically into the jaw there. The reason for it being on that side is because the pressure is going to be between the 2 jaws. So this will be pushing in. If I were to put it on the outside, if I put pressure on it, this might only push out the T-nut. So the T-nut would be on the inside. And then in the joint over here, I might drill 2 or 3 holes, especially in this one as well, and on the end that's not attached to the main shaft. And in those holes, I'll put some dowel sticks and glue them in place as well for some extra support. So let me start putting all of this together, and we'll see what it turns out like. Now, in order when this is applying pressure, I don't want the steel to eat away on the wood too much in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a washer on the inside as well, like that, so that it would be the bolt against the washer when this is turning, and that would be a much smoother operation. So I wanted to put in some screws and everything, but since there's no real pressure going to be towards the side of the washer, it's only meant there to keep this thing attached. And like you can see, it can swivel nicely. I'm thinking I'm only going to attach this washer with some epoxy glue to the wood. So let's quickly get that sorted. Got some of the epoxy wood over here. Going to squirt some of it over on a sacrificial piece of plastic or lid here. Once this is thoroughly mixed, I'm going to take this. I'm using a popsicle stick as a spatula, and I'm going to simply attach it to the outer edge like so. So put that down, put this one on top again, and then put the washer over like so. Now this is fairly sticky. I'm going to press down on it, and like you can see, it's already got a hold of it. It's not glued together securely yet, but it is quite sufficient for now. So I'm going to press it down once more, and I'm going to let that stand, or let that stand over there and let it dry. And we'll come back once I've got the handle, so we can drill a hole in the handle as well and attach that. Well, after all the cutting and drilling and pasting and gluing and hammering, we've basically got these two items finished. So in the beginning, or for to start with, the big part of the S lamp with the main shaft and the drawn top, I did drill two holes in here, like you can see there, and I hammered in two dowel sticks with some wood glue as well to keep them in place. Obviously, some wood glue in between layers of wood as well, so this is now securely in place. We also just want to make sure that this is a 90-degree corner, which it is, so that is perfect, which is very good. And then the same went for this one as well. After it was glued together, obviously, I drilled two holes in here with two pieces of dowel stick in as well to glue them together. I then thereafter also, when I glued the two pieces of wood together for the handle, I rounded it over with the round over bit in the router over here. I then screwed in the threaded rod into the piece after I drilled the hole with some glue inside as well, and I just put a nut on there and locked it in place, so this would be able to turn without the handle coming off. And then obviously still with the T-nut in the top here that we put in beforehand in a vise, and also the loose part on top that has the lock nut on the inside, and then this works very beautifully. So all that basically remains is for this to be put on the major big part, and that is basically a completed F lamp. It can go all the way together. The nice part about this being so long, or the length that it is you can laminate a bunch of wood together, and this can easily do it because of its length, or you can just glue together or clamp together something a bit smaller. So let's have a little bit of a test and see how this goes on. I've got two pieces of wooden blocks here. Now the nice part, or the nice idea about this, is you can put it on, basically push it to size or push it together, and then simply turn the handle at the bottom here in order for those to be clamped together. And there you go. And this is solid. You can see I can't move it forward or backwards, and you'll see that the angle of this loose part here compensates for the angle that this bottom jaw is making because it's gripping onto the main shaft of the F clamp. And there we go. That is solidly clamped together now. So if you like it, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel down below. So until next time, thank you very much, guys.